Hey guys, Tuner Marine here with another video for you. Today we're talking about the government shutdown that happened. When did it happen? Today is the 6th, which is a Sunday. It happened Tuesday. So whatever day that was. Anyway, kind of my thoughts on it. I think... Now, I'm certainly no expert when it comes to this sort of stuff, so don't take my word as gospel, but there's... I agree and don't agree with the shutdown. Now, they're mainly arguing over Obamacare, which I'm not a huge fan of that, but specifically, like in terms of the shutdown itself, basically what happens every, however often this comes up, is trying to come up with a budget for the country. And basically they cannot agree on a budget, and it ends up pushing it towards, closer and closer to a shutdown, which is what's happening right now. I think it's good and bad at the same time. Good in that it's making people realize how fragile our government is and how fragile our economy is. To me, we're, 18 trillion or almost $18 trillion in debt? That's just insane. And to just keep basically, all right, so let me try to explain this here. Essentially, there are certain people that want to raise what's called the debt ceiling, which is essentially the amount of money that we're going to be allowed to borrow and that we're going to be allowed to add on to our debt. So if if they agree to raise it, that's basically saying let's continue piling more money onto our national debt, which, as I just said, is approximately 18 trillion. I think that is incredibly immature. I mean, where else can you just decide that you're going to be allowed to have more debt? I just think it's kind of crazy. At the same time, if you don't raise that debt ceiling, you run into this. You run into the shutdown. You run into a lot of things not being able to be funded. A lot of people are out of work, which is obviously bad in its own right. So, I mean, it's a pretty difficult situation all around. Personally, as cruel or mean as this may sound, I think we need to stick through the shutdown and make it very obvious to people that we need to fix our budget and we need to figure out a way to get out of debt, because we can't keep accruing this debt. It's just not responsible, and it's just not going to happen. I guarantee we won't be able to do it continuously from here on out. I just have a feeling that the countries that we owe money to are going to come knocking for that money. Now, if you're affected by this shutdown, your family gets I don't even know what the term is, but like gets help with food and stuff from it. Then I'm sorry, and that sucks. That's getting close to where either you're not getting it now or you're not going to be able to get it very soon, and that sucks, especially for like single moms who have, one or two babies. That makes it tough, certainly. But I don't know. I don't want to screw these people. And the sad thing for me is that there are some people that are on welfare or that are on, these various other programs that legitimately need the money. They got let off from their job because, their work was downsizing or whatever the case. They had no say in the matter. It's not like they messed up or whatever the case, but they get fired, and then what are they going to do? Finding a job's not easy, and people like that, I do think, need these sort of programs while they're doing everything they can to find work. My issue stems from people who simply get on these programs and then mooch off it. They don't make any effort to find work. They don't want to work. They just enjoy collecting a paycheck from the government and not doing a fucking thing. And this government has become, or not the government, but this country has become so weighed down by people doing this that it's costing us a ton of money. Just an insane amount of money. And we can't sustain it. It's just not possible. But people are lazy. And so it puts the government in a tight spot, certainly. I don't know what what their plan is, what they're going to do. If this continues to go on, what's the date? I want to say it's the 17th of October. By that day, we will be down to like our last, what did they say it was, like $30 billion, and that money will be spent in just a day or two. And so by the 17th, we'll essentially default on our loans, and we'll have no way to pay any of it back. And we won't be able to run the government, won't be able to do a bunch of stuff. Freaking cough, I swear. There are options that the government can take if it gets to that. And I'm not 100% sure on what all of them are, but the government does have options. So just so you're aware. But yeah, I don't know. I think the government shutdown, like I said, is good and bad. And luckily for you guys, like if you do join the military and there is, a shutdown in the future or something, as of right now, Obama signed a thing, which is probably the only thing I think he's done good during his time in. But he signed a deal stating that the government, or like the military and stuff, will be paid during these during the shutdown. So our military are not working for free at the moment, which is always good. But yeah, I don't know. I want you guys to post your opinions on here. By all means, have discussions, stuff like that. But as I've done in the past, if it starts to get too inflammatory, I'll just cut the comments, and then I'll block people who, kind of get out of hand with it. And trust me, I have very, very, strong opinions or strong views on this, which I won't get into here because it's really not the time or place. And I'm sure some of you guys do as well. But let's keep the super strong stuff to ourselves so that we don't, piss everybody off. So, all right, guys. As always, I appreciate you watching. And I definitely appreciate hitting 700 subs. It's awesome. And I will see you in the next one. Semper Fi.